How's it going, gang? I am recording this again. I just recorded the whole thing and missed my lower half, so you'll need to see that for most of these stretches. Anyway, look, this week we are changing it up a little bit. Okay, still obviously doing stretching, but we're going to try and hold our positions for a little bit longer. So I'll put the clock on, I'll time this, I'll let you know when to, how long we have left, so that you can just focus on staying in the position. So slightly different than the last one, a little bit more static, but it allows you to get deeper into some of the stretches. Okay, let's go round two, starting off here with the cat-cow. Okay, so we did that. Started last week, but it's going to be quite fundamental to pretty much all of our stretching routines. I think with the amount of sitting down and crappy posture, we need to learn at least then how to move our spine out of those positions. Okay, so let's go a minute of cat-cows here. All right, remember, knee under the hip, shoulders over the hands. Okay, pushing up, breathing out, looking up. Halfway through. Last 15. And time. Okay, moving on, we're going to do our front lunge. We've done these before as well, keeping the back knee down. You can come up onto to your fists if you like. You're starting off the minute now, okay? If you want to go even lower into it, if you feel like you can, if you're getting a nice stretch in the back hip, but you kind of want a little bit more, try and put the elbows on the floor. Okay? This is tough. This is, challenging for me. Some people might be easy, so just remember that. It's something to work towards, but you only need to do this if you're not feeling a great stretch up on the hands, okay? So you can come back to the hands if you want. It's really important that you just do what your body can do. Okay, it will change quickly if we keep doing these, okay? Another 20 seconds. Really feeling that back hip. Okay, you'll feel a little bit in the front and at the top of your hamstring and your groin there. But really stretching out the back hip here. Okay, you're going to swap legs. So bring that knee to the floor and bring this foot up. Again, at least start up higher. So either on our fists or on our hands. And then if you're feeling comfortable or it's not too stretchy here, let's go down, put the elbows down. Okay, trying to keep that chest up a little bit too. That'll help the stretch. If any of you are doing that bit of running or anything like that, kind of these hip flexor, this area here is going to tighten up a lot from running. Okay, so these are nice stretches kind of after your run in particular. It's kind of a bit much, you might come back up. Just feel, some days you might be able to do more than the others. More stiff, could be a different time of the day. Last 15. 3, 2, 1, and time. Lovely. Okay, you're going to move from here. Knees a little bit wide, you can have your toes touching. The next one is called a prayer pose. Okay, it's like a child's pose. This is quite a normal one. We're sitting back on our heels, got our head on the floor, stretching out. But it's got a little change. Instead of the hands being the point of contact, I'm going to drop the elbows onto the mat. I'm going to put both of my hands behind my shoulders. Okay, you can feel a big stretch in your upper back here and in your armpit lat area. Okay, off we go for 1 minute. Breathe into the tightness as well. It sounds silly, but it works. 20 seconds. Really sinking back, get that stretch. If you're not feeling the armpits, your elbows should probably be forward a bit more, and then pull your hips back. 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, perfect. Alright, this next one, it's lower back, but it's also our chest as well, okay? I'll do my best to kind of show you from the side angle here. I have to guesstimate our time on the first, my watch is on that hand over there. So I'm going to start off, we're going to lie flat, stretch both arms out. Then we're going to bring our right hand, in this case, in close to my body to help me push. And then I'm going to send my leg back and behind. Okay, if you can't reach the floor behind, that's fine. You're still getting a twist in your back. We're pushing here to help get you that chest up and twist. But I'm going to try and reach my toes to the floor. Okay, I'm going to hold this here for a minute. And because my left arm is straight out to the side, okay, it's not down my hip, it's straight out to the side. This is allowing for a stretch in my chest here as well, chest and shoulders. Okay, you can relax the head if you want, if you have something to put it on, even better. Keep your spine neutral is good. Breathe in. You'll probably feel it actually in your hip here open too. So hip, low back, chest, it's a great exercise, great stretch. And hold it now for another 15 seconds or so. Okay, brilliant. So let's stretch out this arm. This hand comes close to the chest here. And you're going to try and push away as we twist open from this side for the minute. So you should be be able to feel this in the chest, hip, low back, mid back, open in here. And time. There's some poor unfortunate on this old bike behind us. Okay, we're going to move into this quad and hip flexor stretch again. For any of you running, it's going to help you out. It's also going to help the ankle mobility just a little bit here. Someone was saying to me, a couple of people were saying, they went to do this and they could probably get about this far. That's fine. If you're feeling it where you're meant to be feeling it, that is fine. Some people can get literally, they'll bring their heels out and they'll go all the way and be lying flat on the ground, okay? Other people will be all the way up here. What I would like to see as much as possible is a straight line from my knee to my shoulder, okay? So like this. So that means you're engaging your glutes, and then we're getting that stretch. My knee is penciled onto the floor here, pinned onto the floor, okay? If needs be, put some pillows underneath to help that, okay? So that might help you, or something behind you, or hold on to something. You need to get those hips engaged, okay? Off we go for a minute. As you start warming up, you might be able to get that a little bit lower, Just go to your own potential. Halfway. Driving those knees down, keeping the glutes engaged, chest is up. 5 seconds. And time. Okay. Come into a butterfly pose. Sitting up nicely on a sit bone, so not too curled. Sitting upright. Pull your 2 feet as close as you can. Doesn't matter if they're not touching your hips. As close as you can. And then from here, you set the timer. Just gonna let the knees float down to the side. If you want to move them a little bit, you can. If you want to use your elbows to just put a little bit of pressure on them, great. One of the best options here is if you have 2 weights, nothing too heavy, maybe like a 2.5 kilo, maybe 5 if you want. Put one sitting on each side, and that will just help slowly stretch out the inner muscles of the upper thigh. But this is fine too, okay? Chest is up. Breathe in. Okay, and time. Okay, so doing a couple of these exercises to try and tee us up for holding a squat later on, okay? So that kind of opens up our hips. We want to work on our ankles here a little bit, okay? So half the time on a squat when we come down, it's people's ankle flexibility. You can't really quite get down, okay? So let's come here, start our timer, grab our heel and push it into the floor here, okay? The goal for me, so I want to come over, I need to keep my heel on the ground. Okay, it might look like this for you, it might look like this, or driving my knee forward while keeping my heel on the floor. Okay, so the idea is my knee will be tracking over my toes, and we're closing the gap between my shoelaces and my lower shin. Okay, another 25 seconds. You can even do a little kind of pump action to try and push down lower, come back, and then feel it out again. Another 10 seconds. Stretching out the Achilles heel, which is nice. Okay, let's swap sides. Another minute. You might feel a bit of a stretch in your back hip like the front lunge we did earlier, but we're not focused on that, okay? We're focused on heel down, up, up, pushing the knee forward, closing the distance between the shoelaces and the lower shin. Some people might have better mobility in the left, right side on every stretch, so tell me where you're in. Another 20 or 15 seconds. Okay, brilliant stuff. Now, let's take it to our squat, okay? As low as you can, find your ideal position. My toes are out a little bit here. Heels are kind of under each of my hips. It changes for everybody, okay? You want to get nice and deep with a hamstring touching the calf, if possible, okay? If you're kind of tilted forward in this, maybe come up a little bit. Some of you may not be able to get there, it might look like this, that's fine. We're going to keep working on it, okay? We're sitting in, our heels are staying on the floor. I'm going to push out my elbows into my knees here a little bit, try and just get that positioning, okay? Because we don't want our knees buckling in on a squat. We want them sent outwards, keep nice and strong.
My chest is up. We're just sitting here now. Another 30 seconds or so. If you want to kind of shift the weight between the 2 feet, kind of feel a little bit of extra stretching going on in different places. This will really help though when we start loading up the squats, the bar, the goblet, anything like that. Makes a big difference. When we get this level, we start working all of the muscles, okay? Not just the front of our legs, our glutes, our hamstrings. And time.
Okay, we're doing a lot of flexion stuff today, which is kind of crunched forward. Just going to finish a little extension in the back, and then one more pose. Okay, so just lying on your front, hips on the floor, elbows up, just like this. Simple. Just doing the opposite to what we have been doing. Okay, so this is called an extension instead of a flexion, where we're crunching forward.
He's a different one than the other. He's fucking training every day, isn't he? He absolutely is.
25 seconds or so.
How's that feeling good like that?
Yeah. 10 seconds. So this is pretty handy enough pose, but it's good, it's nice. If you really want to push it and you feel good, you can come up to here. It's probably a bit much for me. And better flexion. Okay. Right, we're gonna finish on happy baby pose. Okay, last one. I'm gonna pull my knees as close to the floor as possible. Okay, so my hand comes up, elbow inside the knee, and then my hand onto the outside of the foot here. Okay. Let's start the time. I'm gonna literally, just like you would be a baby, lying on your back, holding your toes. Babies are very, very flexible. You can just move around the legs whatever way you want, whatever feels good. But again, always trying to tag your weight into your knees here to pull them to the floor. If you have to, you can just grab your own knees if you can't quite grab the feet. Or you could get like a towel or some bands to help you attach to here. Just finishing up, this is the last exercise. That was 15 minutes of stretching plus maybe a couple of seconds in between each one. A little bit more static. So this is better for after a workout or on a day off. Okay. Another 10 seconds or so here. Just move around, whatever you feel. And if you're getting into the swing of it and 15 minutes feels too little today, just keep going with some of the ones you've learned so far. You might have picked a favourite or something that you feel you need to work on. That is the job. So again, super important guys, really good there to get it in. We're going to try and build a habit as much as we can. That was the main thing. So get in the new video in weekly, because for the most part it's going to be relevant to what we're doing in training. It doesn't mean that you can't do it at another time, because it's, it's basically doable at any time. But again, sticking with the video that comes out weekly. If you have any other kind of favorites and stuff you like to do after workouts or anything like that, go back and do them. Because a few of you that have done it last week did it more than once, because you really liked the feeling of it. So, Thursday, 6:30 a.m. class. If you have a little bit of extra time afterwards, why not do this? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, get an extra one in. You will just be so much better for the mobility work. It will add to everything and help everything. All right. So I will see you guys over the next couple of days. Get this in, and I will talk to you soon. Well done.